Hello, friends. Iran and Israel are very much in the news these days, and I wanted to shed some light with you because I'm very familiar with both situations, have been to both places many times, and I wanted to shed some truth here for you. What you hear about Iran is Iran's dictatorship government, which has occupied that country since 79 and has been staying in power by the force of guns and by squashing any kind of opposition, killing them, jailing them, torturing them, and calling them enemies of God. So if you oppose that government, you are the enemy of God. There are countless, tens of thousands of mourning parents because their children have been taken away, never seen again. You know the story. Now I want to tell you something about the real Iranians. The real Iranian whose voice you cannot hear because the government has stopped all kinds of communication outside. They're very quick with cutting off the internet when there are protests, and they're very quick with punishing anyone who says anything against the government. The real Iranians not only have nothing against Israel, they actually like Israel. We used to deal with that country, import fruits and other things from them, and since they're very advanced in the field of medicine, a lot of patients who could not be cured were sent to Israel for remedy. We want nothing to do with Palestine or Israel for that matter when it comes to their conflict, or Lebanon or Yemen or Iraq or any other country. The people of Iran loathe having their money, having their nation's banks and nation's wealth being spent on other countries, especially given to terrorists to buy weapons to harm Israel. This is absolutely against everything that a normal Iranian wants. It's like someone stealing your car and going bank robbing and on a crime spree with it. The car is in your name, it's registered to you, so the authorities and everyone else involved holds you responsible for what they're doing. But in reality, we want nothing to do with Israel or Palestine, especially Palestine. Their conflict is none of our business. We don't have any horse in that race, and we want basically nothing to do with them. We certainly don't want the wealth of that country sent to Hezbollah in Lebanon or to other terrorist groups in Iraq and Yemen and Palestine and Gaza to be spent on weapons to fight Israel when there are hungry people in the streets of Iran. So I wanted to just set the record straight. And you know, most Iranians aren't even really Muslims. Most Iranians are born into that religion, but they do not follow it. And they're not like Arabs who are, mesmerized by the whole Islam thing. It means nothing to Iranians. It really doesn't. If the Iranians were not forced to wear a covering on their head, which is an Arabic word called hijab, 90% of the women would not be wearing it. As you can see, they are fighting it and they're willing to die for it, for not wearing it. So what you see in the news and what you hear about the actions of the government sending rockets into Israel, this is all works of the terrorist dictatorship government that is ruling that country by force. It is not the will of the Iranian people. It is exactly like that criminal who comes to your house in the middle of the night, steals your car, and goes on a crime spree with it in your name. So I hope this brief video serves to clarify the truth about real Iranians and what you see in the news about Iran sending rockets to Israel. This is not Iran. There are two situations here. The dictatorship Islamic terrorist government that is ruling that country by force, and the real Iranian people who have not been able to overthrow that government because the foreign governments who are profiting from this government being in power don't want that to happen. When they do, it can happen in a week, because it was the combination of Jimmy Carter and the leaders of Germany, France, and England that ushered in Khomeini into power in 1979. And it's only superpowers like that that can remove this cancer from Iran, the cancer of Islamic Republic terrorist dictatorship. I hope this serves to clarify. All the best.